Writing Quest! This is the show where we write a book in front of you step by step. Not necessarily detail by detail because...
Idea by idea.
Idea by idea. Let's say that.
Yeah.
So the entire thing is we are trying to write a book and we're writing it in front of you. And in this episode, we're going to be brainstorming ideas for our mentor dynamics between our two different mentors.
Writing Quest!
Writing Quest!
Huzzah! Well, welcome to Writing Quest.
Yeah, nice.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
So, quick anecdote. It's appropriate that I have the Central Perk coffee mug because I've been watching through Friends. It's a quick little story about story.
That is a complete out of left field now I promised in the intro.
I'm just looking at it. It's appropriate that I have it because I've been watching through Friends, and today I went to go do a little bit of exercising, which is good to do. And I just finished the 7th season or whatever. And so, but you're streaming, so you don't really know. So I hit the button to play the next one, and I start working out, and it's the episode where Rachel has the baby.
Oh, in like season 7 or whatever.
It was awkward.
Go on.
I had to change it because I was working out and then Rachel was having a baby and I was like, well, these two activities are not compatible. Now, to tie it back to Writing Quest, I think that the story of that arc is good.
You can't just say it's because story and then make it about Writing Quest.
Well, I'm just saying, I had to, because the Central Perk.
Cool.
Everyone loves Friends.
Let's move on. I'm going to have a hat. 3, 2, 1. That's better.
That's better. You're like Indiana Jones.
I could totally be Indiana Jones.
In a Hogwarts less cool sort of way.
Nerdy Indiana Jones. I'm Neville.
So, Writing Quest. Today, last episode we discussed some things about Ro.
Yes.
And we did a little bit of outlining. It's kind of hard to,
Outlining is hard to come up with it and show it at the same time.
Yeah. But today, we're talking about the archetypes. Ro is kind of a survivalist story. That's what she's going to end up. She's transported to a place that she doesn't understand. She doesn't know where she is, none of that stuff. She's got to survive. So the question for today is, what is everyone else doing?
Yeah, we kind of just...
What are they doing?
I have no idea.
Aiden, what are they doing?
They're getting to the Evertree.
Wrong! They don't know what it is.
I know! Like, in our heads, it's like, yeah, they go to the Evertree, and then they figure out that they're going to become magical wolf riders and stuff. And
no, Ro's the magical wolf. Anyways, okay. So, he doesn't even know anything.
I know everything.
Okay, Gian and Agorath, when we left them, they had just fought the beast. Ro disappears.
Yeah.
So now they're mourning that. So what do we do? What's their logical steps? Like what? Okay, because they're in charge of a whole civilization.
Yeah.
So they can't just abandon that to go look for Ro, who is, in their mind, not super consequential. I don't know.
So here's the thing that I think. And this is going to come back from us going back to flesh out Ro's story a little bit. Because remember, we made the decision a little bit later. Like, oh, this is Ro's story. And then we threw Ro in. And then it was like...
Because it started off as their story.
Yeah.
And now it's not their story.
Gian and Agorath and stuff. Yeah. So, well, I think that's going to fill that bit in. But I think that Ro knows Gian and Agorath. Is mentored to them for different reasons. Maybe her dad was their friend, something. Maybe it was her father.
Well, and this is where that chapter 1 rewrite comes in.
Yeah.
We build that relationship in that chapter. I think she sees them as mentors. Maybe they don't quite see her that way.
Maybe she fangirls over them.
But she sees them that way, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And she's trying to escape the responsibilities of her family and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. So there's a connection there.
Yeah. They're obviously concerned about Ro.
No. I don't think they're concerned.
No, they're concerned like after she gets teleported. They're clearly like going to be like, crap, what do we, this is
No. So like, well, yes, they're going to be sad, but here's what I think is that importing is there's a no going back consequence. And they've done this importing thing a couple of times. And then some people disappear in the process. So I think that Ro disappears, she is dead to them.
They have to... So their job in the immediate, right after it happens, is they've got to get the village past it.
Well, I mean, even the village is just like it's an unfortunate event. Not everybody knew Ro.
So maybe they hold some kind of like funeral type thing for her, and then they move on.
It kind of puts a sour taste in the mouth of like, oh, this is going to be our land now. We're skipping the import. And then it's like, oh, that's sad. So
what's their story afterwards? So
what it was before. They're like, well, moving on.
So their whole thing is going to be moving to the east. You'd be to the east.
East? I thought you said west. Sorry.
Okay. They're kind of a survivalist story too.
But they're more like bigger group.
They're more like Lewis and Clark, less Hatchet.
Yeah. There are 100 families, right? Give or take. That's what we decided. Yeah. In the beginning, before Ro disappears and before the Dark Beast, all that jazz, they're putting together a team to go scout out east.
Yes.
So do we keep doing that, or do they say we're all just sticking together and they just move together? Or do they? Is it winter? Is it summer? Do you have to wait out the winter? Because I remember we talked about.
So this is a question of pacing. So we could do a couple things. We could have them linger a bit where they're at before they decide what to do, or we could immediately have someone show up and say, "I think I found a place," and then they just pack up and leave. But with the added threat of the Dark Beasts, because now they're like, we don't know. So we talked about how they followed them there from the Awakening. So now they're like Gian and Agorath, they're like, we need to lead our people, but we also are like, what if there's more of them out there? Well, that's the threat.
We need to think about though, but they don't know what the Dark Beasts are, right? They've never seen them, or maybe they do remember because the whole
we talked about the Awakening thing. So the Awakening, the Dark Beasts are what the Awakening was.
Right.
And now they've shown up again. Like they've followed them here.
So now they're freaking out.
Now they're like, crap, is this a one-off event? Or did they actually follow us here and we've got a problem?
So I remember us originally on the chapter 1, chapter 2, something like that. Or it was chapter 1 because they're talking to the townspeople and all that stuff that the import is passing. And they're realizing, okay, now we can officially leave where we are. Because the only reason they stuck around where they were was because that's where the import was if they didn't want to stay in that world.
Yes.
Or that land or whatever. So in my head, it was a harsher winter place.
Okay.
So like they had to stay there for import's sake, but
it wasn't an easy place to stay.
Yes. So now that it's gone, now they're like, let's get out of the frozen wasteland thing. Let's travel south or north or whichever. Because that's another thing. They don't know if...
Well, and in my head, in the map, they are at like kind of the base of a mountain. Or maybe they're up in the mountain a little bit.
I saw them in like a valley. Like they are in the middle of a valley.
Yeah.
But these are things we should probably talk about.
Well, yeah. That's good.
What season is it?
Well, so by your reasoning there, though, that makes sense. So we could be more... Maybe we're like winter going into spring.
Yeah.
And now that... So they're kind of like feeling the hope of spring is coming and summer is coming. Like it's going to be nicer. It's going to be... And so we're going to move out... and find a better place, you know?
Yeah. And they don't want to leave them there now because now that they know that the Dark Beasts are here, they aren't going to send out just a party. They're all going to move together.
Yeah.
Do they know which... Because either you go north or you go south to find warmer weather. Do they know which way?
Well... No, I don't know. So now here's the next question. Okay, so generally know that it originally starts with they've got to quest. They've got to go find their next place.
Yeah.
That's the... lesser story.
Yeah.
What's the end? Where are they going to? And why does it eventually become a bigger deal? This is what I want to happen. At the end of this book, I'm going to do the Kevin Feige with the 3 helicarriers.
Explain that.
One of the things with the MCU is Kevin Feige said for Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, so I believe this could be refuted, but what I think happened, what I read, was that he said to the directors, this movie needs to end with 3 helicarriers fighting in the sky. That was the only direction. And then they had to like, okay, well, how do we get there? So I'm going to do that. Ro needs to become the Wolf Rider, the hunter. Ro and her wolf.
They need to be bonded.
They need to become what the hunters will eventually be.
But
she needs to become the beginning of that.
Yes.
Okay. Agorath is the continuation and beginning of the Magi as an evil group.
Yes.
And Gian is the beginning of the Knights of Whiteforge.
Right.
Those 3 pieces have to happen. That's where we're going to.
Yeah.
So the question is for Gian and Agorath, start off leading their people. They need to get fractured, and then they need to So what does that?
So
I hurt your brain, didn't I?
So a little bit. But here's where I think the problem with that is that is so much that needs to happen. I don't think you can fit it in one book. So, and we've already talked about how this is going to be a series. So, see episode 10 of Writing Quest. It's all a series, not just one book.
Whoa.
I think what needs to happen in this book is... that all stuff all follows because of this. Gian and Agorath, their relationship is officially irrevocably broken.
Yes.
Like, they cannot, like, they start off, Gian hates Agorath's guts, okay? Because his wife and child died because of Agorath's things.
I got it. Go ahead.
Would you just...
Sorry.
Every time I try to say something. Okay, so he hates Agorath. Through this story, they start to bond and, like, heal and stuff, and then Agorath's just like, nope, sorry, I do my own thing, and then Gaian's like, can't do this, I'm not forgiving you. That needs to happen. So the Knights of Whiteforge is not our problem right now.
Yes.
Not our problem.
I understand that.
And I think that the problem is that you know where you want it to go and you want it to get there fast. Remember, this is all that's going to happen is Ro and the wolf pup are going to become magic friends.
So here I figured it. So the story for Gian and Agorath is they are trying to... So they need to... Okay, hold on. I'm formulating the words. Here they come. Here come the words. Here come the words. Okay.
Here comes the sun.
So they get attacked by a dark beast.
Okay.
Ro gets blip. They're all sad about it, but they move on. Right away, they get attacked by multiple. Boom.
So like the one they found in the forest, that was just like...
the precursor. And then they get attacked by like 6. I don't know. 4. A lot. They get attacked by multiple. So now their mission is to find a new place, except now they're fleeing and they're being chased. And then, so the story for them is they're getting chased. They finally defeat the dark beasts and arrive happily at their ending with many casualties and lots of character crap that happens. Also while finding Ro.
But why are they finding Ro if they think that she's dead?
They're not finding her on purpose.
Okay.
It's Ro finds them. That's a better way to say it.
Yes. Okay. I like that. That's a better. So I think that, yes, they need to get the dark beasts out. And then I think that they kill those dark beasts or whatever. And it takes a toll.
We need to give them urgency.
And they go.
Yes.
Right? They don't know where they're going. Maybe they just have a general direction and they're going. And that's where we can go back between Ro and them and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that is the world thing they're trying to get away from. And the only place that these things don't exist is near the Evertree. And that's why it's safe. That could be the whole thing.
Yeah.
Through the series is like...
And then Ro finds them, brings them to the Evertree, but the dark beasts can't come near the Evertree.
Yes. So that's good. That's a good world plot thing there. But I think that on the trip, as they're going, there needs to be we've seeded a little bit the dissension in the ranks. Like some people side with Gian, some people side with Agorath.
Yes.
Maybe we haven't seeded that enough. But I think that on the trip, Agorath needs to make questionable things. Gian needs to disobey Agorath.
But righteously.
Yeah. And maybe not righteously sometimes. There needs to be a confusion so there's an actual splintering of not just Gian and Agorath, but the people.
So we don't necessarily... Okay, so this is good. This is a good place to wrap it up. We don't necessarily know why they continue, but we know why they start. They're trying to go. Right as they're about to go, they get attacked by the dark beasts, and now they've got to flee. So Ro's a survivalist story, and they are a chase story.
Okay, so now all we got to do is plot that out. What goes into a good chase story? What goes into a good survivalist story?
Yes. Well, that wasn't so hard. I feel like you think it was hard.
I feel like I've been trying to get you to do this forever, and you're all like,
It's just so unreasonable.
I'm so sick of this bleep.
If I snap, is the hat gonna disappear?
No, I snapped. That's gonna disappear.
All right, well, thank you for joining Writing Quest. We are so glad to be here. We're glad you watched. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Read the book on Wattpad. Like and watch all the other videos so you get caught up so you know what's going on.
True.
Because we certainly don't know what's going on.
We'll see you next time.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!